everyone, and welcome back to the Outside Noise monthly podcast, where the four of us sit down and decide the album of the month. You might have guessed it already, but it's July 2025 edition. My name is Carrie. I'm here joined as usual by Kaylin, Julia, and Michael. How are you guys doing today?
Doing awesome.
Fabulous.
Yeah, better
Fabulous.
than ever, to be honest.
Better than ever.
Happy to talk about some albums.
Oh.
Yes, we're going to figure out our album of the month for July, because it's August. Isn't that amazing?
And it's time.
The passage of time.
Can't do that in July. You have to wait for the month after usually.
Because what if a really good album came out?
Mm-hmm.
That happens every time. It's literally always the last album on the last day at the last minute.
That's true.
That's very true.
We have to talk about
well,
it.
I'm excited to take our album of the weeks throughout July and pit them against each other and figure out our winner. In chronological order, our album of the weeks that are up for debate are La Debacle de las Divas by Blanco Teta, Object 1 by Flooding, Souvenir by Drought, and Monigote Cualquiera by Demencia Infantil.
Awesome. Well, let's start with Blanco Teta. I'm so excited to talk about this album. It really is such a great place to start. It comes out swinging this Venezuelan riot girl revival album.
Yeah, I think it has it's not like a concept album, but the concept is there, and I think it adds to it. It obviously added to it for me because I can't follow along with the lyrics. Knowing the what the basis of the energy is was very helpful. And yeah, like you said, that riot girl bass, it has the energy, it has the anger, and it executes it very well in a way that's not necessarily the straightforward 90s sound you might expect by us talking about it like this.
Right, yeah. It's that charged energy, and it definitely has a more modern concept of that girl who works full-time and is still making time to get her nails done for her and stuff, that type of thing. It's for the girls who are pissed off and over it, but are still doing the fucking thing.
Yeah.
And being women, and yeah, it's really cool.
I love the class consciousness that this album embodies too, because it's not just about femininity. It's also about, like you said, specifically working class femininity.
Yeah. It's it says it's for the Flixbucks Divas. Yeah, the Flixbucks Divas. So
yeah,
that's sick.
The constant struggle, the constant being behind the ball, realizing that it wasn't made for you to get on top of things.
It's super fun.
I think anyone could relate to it, but it's
totally.
Definitely, like you said, definitely got that feminist bent.
Yeah, it's that spirit of the grind, Yeah, definitely
set.
something for everyone to understand.
Girl boss and its consequences.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
So true.
It's well, she's got to pay rent. I don't know.
And it's so fun and high energy, and there's so many great hooks on this album, too. I mean, even though it's not in English, I mean, it's so sing-alongable and danceable.
Yeah, it's got that chanty thing. Yeah, for
Totally.
sure. Super fun.
Great record. Are we moving on?
Delicious.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's talk about Object 1 by Flooding. So I wasn't here this week, so someone else is going to have to take the reins on this one.
Yeah, so we're back on our dark, spindly, post-rock-ish tinged indie rock kind of vibe here. This album just feels very... I got the vibe it was very mad at a person or a type of person, and I think that type of writing is very challenging to get right without sounding kind of whiny, and this album really pulls through and kind of gets you on its side. And aside from the writing... I think the style is awesome. I think this band is a little above our monthly listener range that we usually look for. And it's a little more popular than most artists that we talk about is another way to say that. But I think it was worth stepping up and talking about this one because I just love seeing this kind of music get more attention. And I love that the post-hardcore movement is getting more attention. Before this pod, I tried to put on my Drive Like Jehu t-shirt, and Julia told me it was wrinkled and stained. I took it back off. But
said,
I'm
Michael,
glad to see,
look down.
I'm glad to see that kind of thing. It very present in the scene and in consciousness, because I think it describes now better than it even described then. It's very zeitgeisty sound and has a lot of places to go.
Yeah, I absolutely loved this EP. Again, like you said, it's bigger than we usually cover, and it's an EP, but I feel like it just hits all of the things that we enjoy in a project. It's so cool. Yeah, it has these really slow, suffocating moments that drip with tension. It's got that kind of slow core thing, and then these really chaotic outbursts as well.
Yeah, it's almost not following any real structure, and then at the very end they kind of throw you a bone, which
cool.
was very nice.
It has more of almost indie kind of power pop structures and stuff,
Absolutely.
which just makes you love it even more, honestly. It's also out of Kansas City, which is kind of hot for the slowcore stuff right now.
Cool.
So yeah, big love for Flooding.
Just this week, I went to this show with like a lot of like West Philly kids that I recognized, and I think of that as always being more of like the power pop, the pop-ish, the scene that most directly traces its lineage back to like the emo explosion in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And
it connects to this stuff.
Yeah, and while North and South Philly have more of like the noisy like rock kind of vibe in its rock scene, and these people packed into a basement to hear something very jagged and abrasive and weird, but still had that like indie energy. And I think this plays into that because that show was packed. I wonder if that's a vibe that we're going to see on the upswing. Is something
I think it
that
makes sense.
God, I hope.
Takes indie structures and energy and does some non-indie songwriting, and
that could lead to some like really fun shows.
That show was awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for the future. It's not my first pick to go out there to one of those kind of more like poppy adjacent shows, but if they can start pulling stuff like this, I'm down.
It's a cool vibe for sure.
Yeah, I would love to see more like dissonant, sludgy, despondent kind of like indie pop stuff, because there's not a lot that takes this approach that's so gritty and
I was gonna say that too when Michael was talking. It feels so fresh. Like it's a great little musical vein to tap here.
We should shout out who did that show because we also talked about them. Is Editrix.
Yes. So. Oh yeah, Editrix was on it. They were one of our album of the weeks a few weeks ago.
Oh my God, spoilers.
We'll probably talk about them.
Well, they weren't the album of the week, but they were
They'll
a
be
pick.
runner-up,
Yeah.
But anyway, so excited for the future, and there's a lot of bands doing that thing, and Flooding is one of the biggest ones. So.
Yeah.
Cool.
Bangers.
Well, let's talk about Souvenir by Drought, which is almost kind of a look to the past. At least whenever I talked about this album on our Album of the Week podcast, I talked about the bands like Touché, Amoré, La Dispute, Mewithoutyou, these bands being like some of the first music that I started listening to when I was like getting into more alternative music. And this album really pulls from those sounds, but it does it in a way that feels very modern and
good.
Yeah,
And
it feels very modern and good, and I liked it. No, in a way that feels very modern and genuine, and there's a lot of emotional depth here and a lot of thoughtful songwriting. I love the concept of this album of being sort of like a search for meaning outside yourself and coming up empty-handed over and over again before realizing that you really kind of have to find this internal sense of purpose, and then you can take that with you anywhere, like a little souvenir. Isn't that nice?
I love that.
Wow.
Yay.
That's so sweet. Is that like parts work? That's like therapy shit.
Yeah. I mentioned this too. I listened to an interview with the lead singer on the New Scene podcast. So shouts out to them. And yeah, you can tell that this guy's really, really thoughtful about basically the entire project here. There was so much intention put into it. There's a lot of pulling from like his own culture too. There's like Hindi and Tamil languages on here. It's kind of sprinkled throughout the album, and it's really, really impactful. Yeah, I loved this record, and it hits that like emotive post-hardcore sound in a way that is so perfect, well executed. It was recorded live to tape. I don't know how they did that. How it sounds so tight. This, especially for a debut album too.
I didn't realize it was a debut.
This is their first
crazy.
record.
Oh, I was listening. It feels like something, like you said, like a blast from the past. I just assumed that this was like a long-standing project.
Good for them.
Brand new.
Wow.
They got something good going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we've been all touching it. This is definitely a nostalgia trip for me, but like you said, it's not pure throwback. Like you'd only like this if you liked that earlier stuff kind of thing. Like no, this is definitely modern. But yeah, this is just like the first very small like DIY shows I started going to. It was all like emo bands and then bands that sounded like this. So it was definitely charmed me in that way. And it was very, a well executed version of that. Very cool. Very cool to see people kind of working that into more modern things and keeping it going, and we'll see what this sound mutates into further.
Yeah, great stuff.
Stun. Thank you, Drought. We've got one album left. We're really blowing through them this week, but I think I don't know. They're good picks.
We
what
all
else
have
is
good,
there to
concise
say?
thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to tell us about our last album, Monigote, Cualquiera?
Yeah, Monigote, Cualquiera by Demencia, Infantil. This one's really an enigma. It's a very dark, also dark rock-ish. Definitely more experimental and less based in structures that you might find familiar or accessible. And it is very impressionist and very expressionist. You can do both at the same time, as a matter of fact. So it's kind of asking you to insert yourself into the music, to put yourself in the writer's shoes, and see how this lines up with your experience of the world and yourself. It's like, what do you take out of this? What does this remind you of? It's like an ink blot, but also like an inward version of that, of like what feeling does this remind you of? That kind of thing. But the band also self-awaredly is like, we just kind of were also not, we didn't really communicate verbally about this. We just kind of also were all intuitively vibing on the same wavelength when we made this. So it is an act of creation between a bunch of people just feeling a feeling that just seems to kind of hang in the air. And I could see where it wouldn't hit for some people if you don't relate, but I think a lot more of us than we'd think feel this this tense, this dissonance, this thing in the air. In my review, I kind of, it's like in the air like a radio wave and gets sucked out by this band and put into a speaker.
I can't remember if this was on like the Bandcamp page or just something you said, but I really liked how it was described as like tapping into like spiritual frequencies.
Yeah. I think that's a spiritual frequency. It's some amalgamation of the liner notes and what I said. That's a really special thing about that like mind connection experience in the studio, where it's like it translates for some people who listen to it, and you can definitely feel that. Because that type of thing is emotional and it's friendship based, but it can feel very spiritual. For sure.
Because this album is so chaotic and weird and all over the place, and really taps into the feeling of absurd chaos. I don't know that
sure.
we're all experiencing.
It's so sick.
It's hard to put into words because it's not meant to be put into words. It's meant to sound like this. So
it's a little jazzy at times.
It's a little jazzy.
It's very dissonant and disharmonious.
And with those kind of things, I feel like it's so easy to just kind of like get lost in the sauce. When does this song end? When does this track start? And you really don't have trouble with that here. Everything is so distinct.
Michael called it an ink blot. Like, it's just a flash. Like, it's something so cool and vibrant.
And you can really just does it.
Tell
what it is.
It's identifiable as a song, but it is not like most songs you have heard before.
Right,
It's not like verse chorus, but each thing feels complete and has its own identity, and I think that's a mark of good craftsmanship.
And out of all of the albums we mentioned today, I think that this one definitely is maybe the strongest as an album experience. I feel like the other three, I have tracks that I like more than others, kind of can shuffle around, but this one, like from start to finish, feels like such an intentional work.
No shuffle.
Low-key, while we were talking about it, I'm looking at these four and I'm like, this one might be my pick. I don't know. How are you guys feeling about it?
I was thinking this one.
Okay, cool. I don't know. How do you feel, Michael?
I was going to pick Flooding.
I'm Flooding too,
but this would be my runner-up.
I feel like Blanco Teta would be my runner-up.
Oh.
But I am really not mad at picking this one because it's like it's hard to put into words.
Well, I feel like it just, and because of that and because of our like conversation of it, I'm like, I feel like that does hit the like outside noise, like the check boxes. Like, makes sense.
It is a very outside noise core.
But because it's like smaller too and more
underground.
We need to get more asses in seats, more sound in the headphones.
We need a Live Nation sponsorship.
True.
Now.
Yeah.
To make a lot of money.
So congrats to Demencia Infantil.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Love it.
Congrats.
Seems like we have a good group consensus on that.
I
feel good. Tapped into a spiritual frequency.
Not at all sad to see it win. So that's perfect.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Right.
Album of the month for July.
Yeah, out of the Mexico City scene, I believe. That place is awesome and doing great work and all sorts of... I feel like it's one of those scenes where you can rely. It makes you trust what you're about to hear more when you hear it's from there. Those few scenes kind of do that.
Solid.
That's one of them.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Lively, alive, thriving, things of that nature, other adjectives.
Do we have any honorable mentions now that we would like to discuss? I have a few too, Carrie, but you seem excited. What do you got?
I was excited because I just saw this album. I've listened to it a few times, but we talked about it on Up Next a few weeks ago. Solstice by Sniffah. It's really fun. Whenever there's a dungeon synth album that is like notable, I'm like, we gotta talk about it. It's super ethereal, obviously, very sparkly, sweetly produced, but it also has this crazy lo-fi southern hip-hop, specifically Memphis rap style on top of it. I think it's really fun. It's for throwing ass in the club and crying.
In the dungeon.
In the dungeon.
For throwing ass in the dungeon.
Yeah.
You could have a club in the dungeon.
Exactly. That's very much this vibe. So I enjoyed Sniffah for that reason. There's a couple like remixes and stuff that he's got on there. It's a cool artist that I was not familiar with before.
I'm sure other people have mixed horrorcore and dungeon synth before, but this is the first time that I've come across it, and it's great. It's solid. It's wonderful.
As I like to say on Up Next, it's really cool.
Carrie, I like how you described this album, I think also on Up Next, as like dungeon synth, and then about like a quarter of a mile away, someone quietly
it's
rapping.
Like doing bars.
Yeah, quietly laying some bars down
like
over this
really long way.
Because it's very like foggy.
It's chill, yeah. It's like, okay, yeah.
It's well mixed.
Nice. I can grab one. I actually feel like one of y'all, were one of y'all going to say Pulse?
I was going to talk about Pulse by Qur'an Shaheed.
Shaheed.
Once again, because this is the week that I wasn't in the studio for. This album is a true piece of sound art. It's really gorgeous, piano-driven, experimental kind of pop, I guess, but I feel like that discounts it for people who aren't like pop heads. So don't let that get in your way, but it's really, really beautiful. I think also a debut album by this multidisciplinary artist who typically does more like performance art and visual art stuff. And I feel like whenever an artist comes from that world and starts making music, they just have such like a well-defined artistic vision. And that comes through so beautifully in this album that is like deeply personal and evocative, and it really puts you in the room with the artist. I think there's a track on this album that's called like Wine Drunk at 2 a.m. and it literally just feels like having a 2 a.m. yap session, wine drunk, like with the artist. And like I feel myself like there we're chatting. It's great. It's so well produced, well executed. Absolutely gorgeous. For fans of Lorraine, that's the only other. And, I think I also said like the weirdest, farthest edge of like what Sudan Archives does. So
we love Sudan.
We already talked about this. This is a little bit of a cheap shot, but the Big E by Editrix.
Oh yeah.
This did fall into this month for whatever reason. I had it in my brain, it didn't, but it did. If you liked last year, we talked about this album by Wendy Eisenberg. I think it was called Viewfinder, and it was like experimental big band. Well, that person I guess they were already in this band. I was not aware of it. They have come back with this album that's a collaboration with a bunch of other people who are all like have their own projects and are talented in their own rights, and made this super group, Editrix, and the Big E is the result. And like I said, it's everything I kind of already talked about. It has the indie energy, and this even has like weirdly catchy like vocal hooks. Like it goes a little further into that direction of extending a hand of accessibility, but it's just so weird and off kilter. And I don't think I realized it when I was listening to it just like on my headphone. I mean, I knew it was impressive, but seeing live, just listen to the bass player and just think of how crazy you have to go to make any of that happen. And I was literally like, I had to like move Julia out of the way and kind of like look around her to like see because I just had to see what that person's hands were doing. It was incredible.
It was. I'm surprised he's not the one that was breaking strings.
Yeah. And
We're strings broke. He broke like 2 or 3 strings on his bass. He had a new bass. He had a new bass by the end of the show, actually.
That's crazy.
Which is very funny.
Not a bass, a guitar. Because breaking a bass string, damn near impossible.
You're right.
I mean, that would be really. You'd have to be going hard.
It might take your eye out.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd think that. But if there was a bass player who'd break a string, it would be that person. Holy shit. Editrix bassist.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It was crazy. Yeah,
Super
and how
fun.
Wendy was playing their instrument.
Yeah, Wendy does everything fucked up. It's awesome. All of them. They're great.
Yeah.
And but yeah, we like Wendy and everything to do. And we're excited to see what comes next.
Yeah.
How about that? All right.
Wow.
I wonder what could be next.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your pick?
Gonna have to go with. I feel like this is a weird pick for me. It's not something I normally gravitate towards, but I really liked this one. Kiss from the Balcony by Madeline Kenney. It is neo psychedelia, indie art pop. So many like that just kind of feel, and it seems like it's gonna be something that would do well on the radio, maybe at like first glance, but there's so many like weird left field decisions being made in like the production and like the odd song structure and the weird harmonies, and it's just like just beneath the surface. It's so weird.
I love that shit. That is just like a little deeper.
Yeah.
If you choose to tap into
very
it.
like intentional too.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to any of their other stuff, but I would love to see how they got to where they are. I really like it.
Gorgeous.
Stunned me.
Hell yes.
Yeah.
We have others. I don't think Uboa counts, unfortunately. But we did like the Uboa album. We can shout it out.
That was like June.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something we missed before very tragically. But All the Dead Meltdown is Rain about the public health crisis and how it doesn't get talked about. But it can get screamed about on this album. And it needs to be because people don't think about it. And that's what the whole album is about. And about the invisibility of a problem that is literally so universal and will come for everyone one day. And it's really good and I liked it.
Well, because I love everything Uboa does, from the origin of my depression to Impossible Light to this album. I feel like she does a really good job of taking these concepts that can be really difficult to talk about and just distilling them into this perfect, emotive, cathartic release.
Yeah. And like as like a listening experience, like such like a great trilogy.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Love it.
Complete the movements. I love
Well,
tracing the.
We don't know if it's complete yet.
Well,
it might be a quadrilogy.
There's gotta be a. Come on,
please, Uboa, please.
We call it a quadrilogy. My family always did growing up when new movies would come out. We'd be like, "Oh, are they gonna make it a quadrilogy?" Like, yeah, that was a bit. Yeah.
That's a great bit.
It's awesome.
What the hell do you call that?
A quadrilogy. I have one more honorable mention if we're just shooting the shit here. I want to talk about State Change by Molly Joyce because this is a really, really cool album. This person went through like some kind of traumatic car accident when they were a really young kid, and then they had to go a process of several surgeries, and so this is sort of a diary processing that. And so each track is a date of a surgery that they had to like fix their hand basically. And now they have a lot of like accessible instruments and stuff that's like movement and ways that like work with their level of mobility, which is really cool. And so there's this really soft and dreamlike singing put in this like stark electronic, it's very medical. It's like bright and minimal and like a lot of beeping and stuff. It's really weird. And it's literally, the lyrics are the doctor's like reports after the surgeries and stuff. So they're like, it's this 12-year-old girl, she's like really trying and she's struggling and stuff. And so she's an adult looking back on all of that. It's like super emotional. Great album. That's all.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do we have time for one more?
Absolutely.
More.
So I am going to talk about, I don't know if we've talked about this in a group, but Fool's Errand by Theodoore.
I was thinking this one too.
Yeah, I was trying to think of like what I wanted to succinctly say about it. It's just truly odd. I think this might mostly be like a one-person directed vibe, but that was one of the members of Houndsteeth, which I don't know if they're still active, but that was a band that we reviewed really early on. Easy recommend. Houndsteeth was this like indie girl group. It kind of felt like they took the idea of the vibe of like the slowcore like Boy Genius thing and made it just very left field, experimental, and almost jazzy in a way. I don't know. It just made it very strange and
I feel like I don't remember this. What was the album?
It was Hold Your Horses.
Oh.
Yeah, as soon as you see the art style, you'll be like, okay, obviously, same kind of vibe. But yeah, Fool's Errand is even more detached from anything that is in the pop realm. It's like, I would say, the edgiest, earliest forms of math rock where there was truly no formula for what was happening. That's the only thing I can really equate this to because of you just got to experience it for yourself. So go do it.
Good picks.
I love that. I love how many honorable mentions. A plethora, a treasure trove.
And that doesn't even scratch the surface of all the music we have talked about this month. So if you would like more, you can find it on our website, on our TikTok, on our Instagram, on our YouTube channel, from both
Keep
Up Next
places.
and Michael's series. Let's plug Michael's series too, the Great Album series.
And their series.
Up Next.
Up Next. I already said Up Next.
Yeah, we have.
I just said that.
But Great Albums is awesome. Michael's taking you all through a comprehensive thing. If you're not familiar with experimental music and you don't really know where to start, that's a great
like
place.
The history of
yes,
it.
yeah.
The goal is like in 10 years you will have done essentially the equivalent of the great literature education model but with albums.
Your 10,000 hours.
Your 10,000 hours. You're okay. Let's read all the Shakespeare before you start saying anything. That sort of like old head teaching method.
In 10 years, if you've listened to every Great Albums video, we will mail you a gold star.
That's literally true. I mean, nobody's gonna do it. So
don't say that.
I would love for somebody to do
It's a sought after gold star.
See you in the future.
We'll see if I keep it going for 10 years. But I have a master list of all the albums that are going to be on there, and it's damn near 10 years of content.
Literally.
Jesus Christ. You scroll and you scroll.
It's great.
And
I'm so excited.
Go encourage Michael in his epic quest. And if you want to encourage us even more, you can sign up for our Patreon, which we have a free
really
trial
encouraging.
if you just want to check it out. We also have a $5 tier, and we might be introducing more tiers very soon. We have a little Discord server where we hang out and listen to music, and we have tapes. And yeah, check it out.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Come hang.
No other bits we want to throw in for some extra.
I'm like-
no music news.
No news.
Ozzy died.
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
I don't know, man.
That was the week that I wasn't here. I didn't get to
yeah.
join the
You so
Ozzy
would have
conversation.
wanted to talk
We
about
talked
that.
about it a moment. Yeah, we gave a moment. Sorry, we had a moment of silence for Ozzy. We can do it again right now if you want. Everyone, real quick.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, that's good.
Wow. Yeah, I lost a real one. I had the shit scared out of me. Weird Al's Instagram posted a black and white picture of like a guy, and it was like R.I.P. And I was like, wait, did Weird Al fucking die? And it was Weird Al eulogizing this other like guy who was like Weird
Some
Al
guy.
but before Weird Al. It was
Okay,
just,
a parody guy.
Yeah, a parody guy that he grew up listening to, and it
okay.
scared the
Okay.
shit out of me. I thought Weird Al died, and I would have been so pissed.
That's gonna be
Wild.
a sad day.
That's gonna be really
so
hard.
bad.
How old is he?
I know. I'm like he. Does, I don't think
He's not all that old. That's why I was like, holy shit.
He's like aging a little, but he's not like old.
Because that should happen when we're in like our 40s, probably.
Right,
or something.
right.
Like we got some time.
That was
I
my.
remember-
We've talked about this before. It was my first concert.
He's 65. He's kind of
What?
older than I thought.
That's crazy.
He's
He looks
65.
great for 65.
He looks great for 65.
Yeah, I mean, have you heard his first album? It's from a while ago.
It is.
And
His
I
mean-
parents forced him to learn the accordion.
The accordion.
Polka,
that became his thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Dude.
I
Go-
read his Wikipedia page. I think his dad is like loosely Polish or something, and they really want him to have that cultural sort of thing.
Well,
Kinda sweet.
To
Yeah.
learn more about the true and fascinating life of Weird Al, go watch the movie.
Oh, the movie with Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah.
that shit was so funny.
Where he,
all
wrote, where he
true.
wrote in a whole subplot about him fucking Madonna.
Yeah.
I would do
is
that too.
So sick.
And I think his parents also die in the movie, but just
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's not.
It's
It's
not-
Did he have like a
highly
Batman
fictionalized.
origin?
Literally, he's like hit by a bus. Like it's like there's some crazy shit. It's
Oh,
so
it makes
funny.
sense he's hit by a bus because his first song was about the bus.
Oh.
Julie, have you not seen the movie?
No.
We're
It
gonna
took
have
us
to
a minute
go
to watch it, but we should definitely. Yeah.
How long
Have y'all
is it?
have y'all heard that first hit? The Another One Rides the
Oh,
Bus.
I know
Yes.
all about
Okay.
Another One Rides the Bus. I know about I'm Fat.
Yeah.
I know about
Okay, classic.
I know about what I bought on eBay.
Yes.
I know about
I like the Flintstones one that he did.
yes. Like he's legit.
Yeah.
And I like the polka medleys.
Oh yeah.
My family likes the
Oh
polka.
my god, they're all so good.
The Star Wars
What a
one.
guy.
That was
Oh,
some of the
wow.
earliest stuff I watched on YouTube as a kid. I remember.
Me too.
In the computer room with the family. Yeah.
Yeah. Some of those music videos are all timers. Still.
Yes. Yeah. They're great.
I would watch. I don't know what the fuck I was doing. I would watch those before I'd watch the thing he was making fun of.
Literally.
Yeah, there
I-
are definitely references that I did not get
Yeah.
that I was still watching and that I prefer. Amish Paradise.
Oh,
Oh,
Amish
yeah.
Paradise is so good.
Right.
Wait, I think my sister and her boyfriend saw Weird Al recently, and he did Amish Paradise, and he came out on a Segway.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah,
Nice.
it was awesome. He's rolling it around.
That's great.
It's like the least Amish instrument
literally
to ever exist,
that's like,
actually.
That's it's electronics and it's
It's
locomotion.
motor.
Yeah.
He did that, but not for white and nerdy.
Maybe it was white and nerdy. I don't
Oh,
know.
that
I
would
wasn't
make
there.
White
sense.
and nerdy.
She posted a story. I was like, "This is awesome."
that music video is an all-timer.
Oh, it's so
A
sick.
classic.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
All
awesome.
right, well,
Wait,
we just talked about how much we love Weird Al. That was actually really wholesome.
oh, we're just gonna love that guy.
I fucking love that guy. Anyway,
Oh, that's
sorry
sweet.
about Ozzy though. I guess we were supposed to talk about that.
Sorry about
There's
Ozzy.
like not much. He just like died.
He like sang that
It-
song.
It seems like he really went out with a bang. It
That's
seems
what I
like
was gonna say.
He had a nice. He did the final concert.
Yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
saw the videos sitting on his throne.
It's
That's
like when
good.
like two extremely old people, like the one in the couple dies and then the other one dies like the next day. It was like he did his last show and then he'd done everything he wanted.
It's-
and then
it's-
Hulk Hogan died.
It's the
And
power.
then
Oh my god.
It's the power of love and like emotional closure.
Yeah.
It's ready to let go.
It was
But,
really sweet that he got to do that. That
yeah.
big thing that was like his last one.
That makes me
It
think
would
of
have
like
been really sad if he died right before. Okay, sorry.
oh, and I had
Womp,
to cancel
womp.
it.
Well, it didn't happen. So.
Imagine all the like ticket refund questions, like the tasteless.
No, they would have still done it. It would have turned into a tribute. They would
Yeah.
have brought in a bunch of
Oh
other
my
things.
god! Wait, that's so true. They would have brought
Yeah.
in like every pop
Which
star.
they still
yeah.
already did. They had a
Yes.
bunch of other famous people.
But,
it would've
they
just been
did.
that.
I
No,
saw
yeah.
a really good video of him backstage at the show, and he's hanging out with with Youngblood, the rapper, I guess, and he like lifts up his shirt and like pats his belly.
Oh, I saw that.
Like, what the fuck are you doing, man?
I saw someone say, I think that he thought that Youngblood was a woman. Take away.
So you show her your tummy?
He's so silly.
I don't know, man.
Wow.
It's important to have that celebration of life, though. That's a very special thing. I saw videos recently. I got a TikTok rabbit hole of New Orleans, like, funeral practices.
Oh, my God. Those things are awesome.
It's great, and it's like, if you know that person is nearing the end of their life, you throw a huge fucking party. They're wearing a crown. It's like all the kids are there. Like, it's so special. So good for him. Good for him.
I talk about that in one of my videos.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know, I always thought, whenever I went to New Orleans as a kid, I was like, oh, these marching bands doing weddings and funerals, they're playing jazz music. But what actually turns out is the jazz bands are playing the marching music because the marches came first.
Yes.
What?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's spiritual practice and like all of that shit layered in. It's so cool.
Yeah, so you'll learn more all about that.
We gotta go to New Orleans. I still haven't been as like an adult.
Oh, yeah, same. I haven't been as an adult.
I've been as like a little baby.
I went as like a
child.
16-year-old.
Yeah.
I would go as like a...
Yeah,
I went to the
you gotta be able to go into the
Insectarium,
bars.
which does not exist there anymore.
What? They got rid of it?
What? Yes, they did.
I loved it when I was a kid.
The butterfly room, complete with the little river going all the way
They
through
released
it,
the
is
butterflies.
gone. I don't even know where. I think they all died, and it's just an empty room.
That's
Yeah, we
very
gotta
sad.
go before it sinks into the ocean.
I know, that's what every hurricane season I'm holding my breath. It's like, I haven't been yet.
I haven't been
It's
yet.
gonna go away.
It's a beautiful place.
It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the true gems, and I talk about it as an engine of culture and the creation of the best things this country's ever
Culture,
done. Probably.
That's true.
commerce,
Yeah.
all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Bananas Foster.
You know the
Yeah.
majority language there was French until like 1910.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it. There's
It's, like,
a lot, still a
shockingly
lot
old.
of French-speaking people
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Anyway,
That's wild.
cool fun fact,
Yeah.
cool tidbit.
I love that.
Michael
I love to.
tidbit hour.
I love to learn.
Yeah.
As I
Anyway.
say, voulez bon temps rouler?
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
right. Yes.
That's, I think that's it. I don't know.
Oui.
Doesn't that mean
Right.
Let the good times roll?
Let the good times roll,
Hell
baby.
yes.
Why don't we let the
Wow.
good times roll in the form of dinner into our tummies?
Okay.
Wow.
Shout out to New Orleans for hosting the best Super Bowl of all time last year. That should be
Yes,
Hell
That's
yeah.
true. That's
that shit
true.
was
All right.
awesome.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go bird.